So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Changeling venue, where there are, lo and fucking behold, changelings in a changeling market. It's crazy how that works out. And I know that the streets are pretty bare compared to how the changeling market should be. A veritable crush of bodies, people hawking wares, etc., etc. But more and more stalls have gone empty. Fewer and fewer venture out to do their business. But there is still enough going on that it is not a complete ghost town. Not yet. Getting there, but not yet. And look at this merry band of assholes all over the place. Presumably, each up to their own shit. Though, at least in this case, I will place Pepper in there, walking along, um, sporting the new sash, sporting the new circlet. But, more strangely, in addition to the thistle that is normally in her hair, has tucked a rose very unwisely, mind you, in her hair. And it's so pretty, it's so shiny. But she wasn't sure what else to do with it and wanted to have her hands free. And holding it was gonna bite her anyways, so fuck it. Might as well put it out of the way. And yeah, she is wading through the people, and I assume near to wherever Rides is and what he is doing, keeping an eye out because she has seen the tree man at least once in the market and isn't sure where else to find him, really. She works in the castle. She's never lucked into spotting him there, so maybe he'll come through again. Because who better to ask about a creepy magic flower than a guy made of plant bits?
Sound logic. um, so I guess while Bambi's looking about, how Val's kind of prance about. Oh, hey. Ellie, looks at the flower. Uh, Bambi,
Hmm?
query.
Yes.
Um, the fuck is that in your hair?
I have no idea.
Those are things in the houses, right? They,
Yep.
I would rather. It's, mm, Where's Rides?
Probably points. I'm going to imagine points into the pub right behind her. I don't
No,
know.
I'd just walking into the Changeling market now because he was off doing stuff. Um,
Ugh.
so he walks in, whistling with his hands in his pockets.
Bells will bounce around, and you'll hear the bells that are in her pockets, and she'll look for Rides. There he is. Hi, come here, please. Please, thank you. Hi, hi, hi. I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that? Points to the
Turn.
flower in her hair.
Which one? Frowns, turns and looks at the flower.
Yeah, there's the thistle flower in there too, but there is now this really big, beautiful rose.
Where'd you get that?
Home.
It was in your home, a rose.
Yeah.
Those do not go in your hair. It may be in a jar of sulfuric acid, probably. Who knows? Maybe we should try it.
Why? Hang on. Why the fuck do we put it in sulfuric acid? Why? What's going on?
Oh,
Those are
there's
the
some.
things that are invading people's houses.
And you put it in your hair?
It's invading is kind of a harsh term. It's just there, floating in a jar, and I thought I would ask Sir Crib if I could find him, like
And you
craning a look around.
Yeah, and you put it in your hair. The dangerous thing that's apparently floating around like a creepy thing. That apparently,
It
don't,
hasn't.
no,
It's
don't
not.
even. Just I can't even with you some days. You just start walking off.
Why is it? It's not especially dangerous. It's just a flower.
And why aren't you holding it?
I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
pricks your fingers, and there's a little more padding with the hair. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted my hands free.
Mm-hmm.
And where else
Jars.
was I going to tuck it? The jar doesn't have a bottom.
In a new jar. You know what? I can help you. Who are you looking for, Crib? What does
Yeah.
Crib look like? Is he some sort of exterminator
What?
of sorts?
No. He's a She takes a second and actually thinks about it. Gilly too. He's
You'll do?
yeah.
Ah, yeah, he might know something about that. Maybe just a bit of advice in the future. If you find weird floaty things in your house, putting them in like your hair is
I've already
generally a bad
watched it,
idea.
and it
While
hasn't.
rides whirls around, it's stupid. It's a stupid idea. I'm just
I've
gonna
already
Is
say
it
touched it,
stupid?
and I'm fine.
Mm, I know, and I know you're fine with this now. It's just it can be not everything is as seemingly benevolent as the flower. You know, some things linger. And we just recently learned how that rod is actually passing. Maybe just be careful in the future. You know?
She pulls a little bit of a face, and actually seems more upset that Rides is walking off than that she's getting scolded. But she
She's
kind
not
of
trying to
glances
scold.
up, and admittedly, like she's probably got it back in like the ponytail, where it's not directly against her fucking scalp. But
A good idea.
because I mean, that would sting and be annoying. But she just kind of gestures back, like, I don't have any other way to carry it without risking crushing it.
All right, Bambi. Let's go look for your friend. She kind of gives the flower a leery look. Like,
For what it's worth, she's probably like popped up on one of the little like half walls to the side of the walkway. Like she really is like propped up there trying to get a look around.
you said his name was Crib?
Sir Crib, yeah. I think
Sir
he
Crib. So
was
he's
a knight.
no, a knight you'll do. Huh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
He's the one that's been helping with the plague.
Ah, might have to talk to him anyway. And, Belgian look around. Ah, crates. Go to the crates. Pick the crates up. Stack them together. Stands on top of the crates. Pulls out a bunch of her bells and starts waving them about. Ching, 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 ching. Hi, I'm looking for Sir Crib. Ching, 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 ching. Just rattling them together, making musical chaos. Dun, 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 dun. Sir Crib, there's Sir Crib here in this fucking market. No, not you, Crim. Crib with a B. No, Crim, go back to your store. Crib, Crib.
I would imagine it's about this point Raven takes notice of all the commotion and just approaches Bells. Sorry, why are you looking for Sir Crib? And why are you doing it so loudly?
Stops jigging for a sec. Apologies, my lady, but we are looking for Sir Crib because, well, a friend of mine has a situation she'd like to converse with him about. And I'm tall. I'm not tall at all. I'm small, very small. So loud noise, standing on crates, seems like the best idea considering we don't know how to get him at all, ever, really. I've never even heard of him. So I'm just hoping he just comes to the noise. It's not really a bad idea, just ostentatious and a little obnoxious.
And
But what idea isn't really?
Raven will nod and she'll give Pepper a little wave.
It's a small wave back.
So I take it you're the person who means Sir Crib.
She points back to, the bunch of hair, like up at the back of her head where it's been gathered and the flower tucked into it. I mean, everyone seems to have seen them. Nobody seems to know what they are. He seemed like a good person to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the same exact reaction. Ching,
Unless
ching,
one of
ching,
you
ching.
has gloves, I don't have a better alternative.
Crush it.
I'm not
Get rid of it.
worried about that. It turned up in your house, right? And you don't know who from.
Yes?
Okay.
One moment. Bells will kind of stop her trilling of her bells and kind of scramble down halfway of the crates, leaning against it. Who are you?
So, me?
Mm-hmm.
I am Lady Raven Celestis, me Fiona. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Bells. Ching,
So,
ching. Well, Lady Celestis?
yes.
If you could just stick around and maybe help explain why things are bad ideas. Scrambles back up to the top of the crate. Ching, 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 ching. Just waiting.
I
Hello.
can try.
Hello. Hello, anyone? Can anyone know where the fucking guild new Sir Crib is? Please.
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 So after a little bit of shenanigans, uh, the one making all the noise on all the boxes can see something that is best described as a living forest or a man made of forest enter the market from kind of the far side.
Abruptly stops the trolling, scrambles down, and rushes. Stops, skid. Wait, fall. Wait. Okay, scramble. Not so fall. Hi. I have a question for you, sir. Mr. Whomever.
Yes.
Would you happen to know a Sir Crib? If you are not he, I am unsure of what he looks like exactly.
Yes.
Are you he?
Yes.
Sweet. Mr. Sir Crib, Sir Knight Crib, however the tonality works for the name, I don't really know. Hi, can you come with me, please?
Yes.
Sweet. Do you know a Pepper, Bambi, Satyr about yay high?
Oh, yes, I do.
Ah, yes. That gets a reaction. Um, she seems to have found a flower, and she figured she'd ask maybe if you had some advice on it. She unwisely put it in her hair, however, so maybe more advice on not putting weird flowers in hair. You know, why don't we walk and
Why?
talk? Why don't we walk and talk?
Flowers
Why,
and hair is a
because
lovely look.
yes, but not if you don't know where the flower comes from and if it appeared randomly in your home floating.
Oh, one of the roses.
Yes. Gifts
Okay.
or items as such are often not really a good idea, right?
He shrugs.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know who the sender is, so you don't know their intentions.
Well, neither
You
does the
know.
flower.
Neither does the flower. But we don't know what taking the flower signifies. But maybe a look-see would help. I am unfamiliar with the ways of horticulture or botany or any of such sort.
He'll nod his head. Well,
Sweet
let's go
Christmas, let's
see.
go.
Yes. So we'll go.
And yeah, maybe you'll have seen Bells rush off and hop down from her own vantage point and be just kind of clipping more slowly to meet him. With a bright smile, and yeah, she's got a thistle flower tucked behind her ear and a rose tucked back up in a bundle of hair. So she, approaches with a bright little smile and a wave. Hello again, Sir Crib.
Hello.
I don't suppose you know anything about these. And she points to the flower poking out of the back of her hair.
Is it a rose that appeared floating in your freehold randomly?
It is. Coincidentally, that's the thing that happened.
Yeah. Oh. Someone appeared in your home too.
Everyone I've asked says they've seen them. But nobody seems to know what they are. I thought you were perhaps the wisest person to ask. I have a pretty good green thumb, but I can't talk to them.
Why not?
I don't know how.
I can teach you that. It's useful.
Brightens up the slightest bit. I'd very much like that.
But I only know a little bit about this rose. What are you looking for?
I don't know. I thought it was strange that so many had appeared, and I don't know that anyone has even touched them before. I know that I pricked my finger when I did, but nothing bad has
That
happened.
probably wasn't wise.
There's
Mhm.
a bit of a shrug. What has happened has happened.
These roses are... And he kind of like wiggles his nose and lips back and forth. Perplexing. They speak... When you are able to speak with them, they speak in in-depth riddles, but they seem to be all, from what I have known, isolated. They don't know of their time before appearance. They don't know who sent them. They don't know how they bypassed barriers or magical guards. And you should be careful and not let it drink from you.
Well, I didn't have gloves. She kind of gestures back towards her hair. This is the best I can do to carry it without crushing it or letting it touch my skin. She actually kind of blinks a few times and glances over at Bells. You keep
And Bells
saying
is
that they should
Mhm.
be done away with. Have you tried?
the ones in my house. I've done my best to reach. I can't seem to get too close to that without accidentally maybe getting close enough to get hurt. If
You
something mystically appears in your house, it's common sense to maybe put away from it, maybe not touch it and keep it around with you. Even though these things don't know their purpose, there is a purpose to them. It's not paranoia if you're concerned, especially if they're interested in your blood.
But you would
Mystical
just.
roses are not fun.
I know my fairy tales, but still, it's pricked me. I'm fine.
That you
And
know
would you
of.
be okay with leaving something magical and mysterious in your home without asking anyone or finding out where they come from?
I
I've
mean,
tried, I haven't heard rumors of it yet. It's not like that I'm not looking, it's the fact that we're concerned, but nothing's been done yet. It's different than keeping it in your hair and lolling about with it. That's a little unwise if you don't know where it's from.
I don't want to just leave it there.
But why do you want to keep it with you? Is the question. If you don't know what it signifies.
I thought I would bring it and ask. I may try leaving it in the woods, see what happens. I don't know. But I don't know if it would root and something bad would come of that too.
I mean, it's in your
Well,
hair, next to your head, rooting
more
in
than
the
likely
dirt.
something bad.
Mhm.
Did you get the impression that something bad would come from them. Looking up to Crib.
Well, since it is comprised of dreaming material, of dream stuff, of chimera, it is susceptible to the rot that is spreading through the kingdom.
And so are we all.
Mhm. Yes, but
That could be another, if left planted and allowed to blossom and bloom on its own, and it were to get infected, who knows what sort of consequences it may have.
No, I wouldn't want that to happen. But I wasn't comfortable leaving it and not finding answers. Keep my home very private. I like it that way. You're not the only one who can talk to plants, after all.
well, you're the one that wanted to ask. I think what we're trying to say is that maybe putting it in your hair is just an unwise decision.
Do you
Putting
happen
it
to
in
have
maybe
a
like a
pair of hunting
jar,
gloves that I could borrow? I
a
don't
jar
have
of
many
some sort, maybe.
belongings, and I don't have money.
Ooh, 1 sec. And she'll
You
scamper
don't what?
around.
She basically says, I don't have many belongings and I don't have money.
Hmm.
Bells will go bother that one storeman, Krim. Hi, yeah, I'm gonna take this, thanks. No, here, yeah, there you go, bye. And scamper back. It's a big empty jar, and she's got, like, burlap wrapping. Hi, no gloves, but I've got this.
She'll take the bit of burlap and start kind of rolling it to make sure that it is deeper than the thorns are long. She already got pricked another time, probably putting it up there. And yeah,
Mhm.
gingerly reaches back and very carefully, using the burlap to shield her fingers, will coax it out of her hair. And very gingerly put it in the jar. And, for what it's worth, is very careful not to damage it in the process, because that seems needlessly cruel. But yeah, she
We'll
just
close this jar immediately.
kind of quirks a brow. And, well, if she is offered the jar back, we'll take it and actually spin it and squint for a moment.
No, she's holding the jar.
Oh.
She's just holding it. She's just like, no, you put it in your hair. I don't know what else you're gonna do.
Just kind of quietly hold out a hand for it. Oh, hey, Kim.
We have an ST?
Can.
In theory.
Hooray!
Maybe keeps having connection issues. Or not.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you with us, ST?
Yeah.
Okay, see.
Bambi has been convinced and carefully taken this rose out of her hair, this time without touching it directly.
Oh shit, she actually put the rose in her hair?
I told you I was going to do it. She put it
Everyone
back
said
in
it
the
was a bad
ponytail,
idea.
but
Oh shit. Okay. I didn't. Okay.
you thought I was joking. Look, you were annoyed people weren't chasing it, giving opportunities for things to happen.
So. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
She at the very least had the sense to put it back up in a ponytail, but she had to touch it again to put it up there.
yeah, it It pricks her finger again when she touches it.
Yep.
Absorbing more blood. The stem is starting to take on a blood red hue.
Oh
similar
boy.
To the rose itself.
So yeah, I guess that'll be visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And along with that, when she puts in her hair, how to best describe what it begins to start doing? Okay.
It bursts into her brain.
She's gonna have to fucking clip her
tries to.
ponytail off, and she's gonna be mad.
Bells will not say anything, but will give her a look of,
We'll
I wonder
see.
how that could have happened.
Yeah. So she puts it in her hair, and small little vines begin to spread out.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh god.
Begin to spread out from the body of the rose, the stem itself, entwining itself. And will you guys stop fighting? Entwining itself through her hair.
Well, I imagine in that case there may have to be comical modifications, because if she
Yep, right.
originally is this when she originally put it in her hair, or would it have taken time?
When she put it in her hair.
Then yeah, I imagine at the very worst she will be instead sporting much shorter hair. Oh god.
Rides is just giving you the stink eye, like, oh look, something bad happened when you put the creepy thing in your hair. I have no sympathy for you, stare. That's basically the look you're getting off Ride. No, you did this all on your own. He's just giving you the stare.
So wait, do we still have? Would Belle still be able?
I imagine at that point, if she went to put the thing in her hair and immediately felt it growing and shifting, she will have probably attempted to yank it out, and if it would not come out, have whacked off some of her hair because, oh no, not today, Satan.
It is not going to come out easily.
That's a lot of hair.
Thus the willingness to, you know what, say fuck it. I can rock a short hairdo for a while. Because she is not about to get like freaking brain leached by a rose.
Hey, here's Bells with the jar.
So I imagine at this point, yeah, in the jar is probably a lot of hair. Probably instead of her coming in with it in her hair, it was probably still a bunch of vines knotted around a lot of her hair and wrapped up in a t-shirt or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We could put that whole mass in a jar. Fuck it.
Yeah, we'll just put the whole thing in the jar.
Arms folded, giving you the most sassiest look ever. He's like, oh look, that's what Rides is doing, just watching this whole thing.
So
let me retcon slightly to say that she came into town with a way shorter hair than normal.
And an assurance that the roses are a bad idea.
I imagine she still gets the same level of fucking side eye and scolding and whatnot, and is still looking decidedly unamused, but now has a rose wrapped around a lot of her hair, kind of all gathered up in a shirt because I'm not touching it again, in a jar now.
Yeah.
You have no one to blame but yourself, madam. He'll say very, very sternly. No one to blame but yourself on this one. And those doe eyes won't work on me on this. Folds his arms.
Raven doesn't say anything. She just does the Picard face palm.
Will screw the thing tightly.
Yeah.
Would have known.
Prefer that probably to Crib being like, well, at least it changed. Does that give you anything to work with?
Yeah. Did you prick your finger on this more than once?
I had to touch it twice.
So it got bigger after
once, but
eating? I mean, to my knowledge, you haven't watered this thing, right?
No.
But you bled on it.
It did the same thing twice. It only grew all of that, kind of points into the jar, and the good ponytail of hair that she's lost.
When you put it next to your head, the source of a lot of blood?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was That was good going there. Brandon.
Yeah. So, methinks this likes blood. Um, yeah.
In my hand the
Do
first
you
time.
want your child back? Do you not want your child back? You did feed it.
Looks at her.
Yes? No? You know what? We'll just here, Crib. How about you have this?
He'll take it. He'll take the jar. I'm curious to see what happens when I get two of these next to each other.
Ooh, 1 sec. I'm gonna go yell at Krim and get more jars. Goes back to Krim. Yes. No, I'm taking more. Yes. Well, here. Have. Yes. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Comes back with like 4 more.
Oh
Is this really a good idea to have two of them close together? I mean, that just seems like you're inviting some Pet Shop of Horrors stuff to happen.
Can I just drop a sage of wisdom here on all you little people? Can you do that somewhere? Maybe not in. Oh, I don't know. The fucking Changeling market.
I mean, obviously, we're
Oh
not
no,
going
mine's
to do
locked in its
the
jar.
change.
So
Yeah, that might be the
I
sage
don't have
advice.
one
If
with me.
they appeared in everyone's homes, then they are probably all over the Changeling market where people live over their shops.
Well, we're not going to touch them, are we? Or we're
Yeah,
not going to
but
certainly put them in our bloody hair like a fucking prize.
yeah, let's hope no one knows that. And if we do, hey, at least we know what it'll look like when it's wrapped around their heads.
I'm just surprised it didn't grow
Right?
vines when it was in my hand. There are just as
I
many veins
think
in the rest.
brain
Do you know what else
has
is in
more
your head?
circuitry,
You know,
however.
you know what else is in your head? Tapped Bambi's forehead. That's called a brain. It's called nervous systems. It's called where the body has control over things.
She scowls a bit. I'm not
And
stupid.
technically, you have a lot more arteries closer to where your head is than where your wrist is. It probably got more interested when it was up there than in your hand.
It's also a point of interest that it reacted to one and not the other. Whether it's
It
because
is.
there was more blood or it's because, well, kind of gestures to rides. All the same, it's something to go on.
Yeah. Brides, you left yours alone, right?
Oh, I didn't fucking touch it. Someone drops a rose at me and I don't know who it's from. You don't touch that shit. Never.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was
Sound logic. I wonder who else said that. Do you want to go pop over and maybe catch it?
Do it at someone else's house.
All right. I guess we're going to mine. Is Willa home today? No, she's not. She's Ubering. Yeah, we could do it at mine.
Actually, I'll roll to see would he let people in his house. Power.
You could just go get it yourself.
No, just like have you guys wait outside. It's fine.
Not like we're saying we're going to do the experiment in your house, just maybe extracting it away from your house.
I may go back and see if anything has changed in my home with it being kept away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone else has moved them.
I left it where it was.
I can't reach where it is. Actually, I would like to get rid of it too, just in case, because I don't want Willa to accidentally get curious and be like, oh, hey, what's that?
Then should we split up and gather them if it's as easy as putting them in a jar and not touching them directly and return somewhere else, not here?
I would say maybe have people stick together a bit. Maybe go in buddy system. I don't like the fact that it reacted like that, just being in your hair.
I don't either, but it didn't do anything until it was in my hair. While it was in my hand, it was fine.
Yeah, but maybe if it falls into someone's face or they're trying to grab it or they stumble.
There's kind of
just
a,
what I'm more
grimace,
concerned
like,
on.
ugh.
Yeah, that's why I figured maybe just have one person with you when you go to collect it. Even if we have to wait outside your caravan rides.
I don't. We'll just keep walking. If anyone's following me, go do so now.
Raven will follow after.
Hey Max, are we gonna meet up with Freygar? Babe?
He has disappeared.
Yes.
Hmm?
You gonna join us,
Do you want to have
buddy?
Freygar pop in? Babe?
Shenanigans? What?
Were you not paying attention?
Of course there was.
Well, do you want to have Freygar pop in so he can join us on the whole finding the flowers and getting rid of them thing?
Sure. What was that?
I mean,
Hello?
I'm sure he does.
Oh, right. Where are you going?
Going to my house, moving, important business. There's roses, very evil, alien-looking roses like the movie without Sigourney Weaver, which is a shame as he's walking.
That movie was great, though.
I
Wasn't
followed
Oh
there
my
the
god, these things are face huggers. Fuck, these are face huggers.
Raven will just look. Wasn't there a movie about flowers that ate people and
Bells is gonna scamper to where Crib has the rose. We're gonna call you Audrey too. Yeah, yeah. And she's just gonna start humming. Feed me, Seymour.
Crib looks down at the
Oh! Oh, the roses. Yeah, no, I sang to
Power.
mine. I told mine a story. I was bopping up and down.
Ah, so you stuck to it.
I said yes.
Hey, Fagar, have a jar. We are
Has a
extracting
jar.
these puppies. We're extracting them and seeing what they'll do. Not in any one of our houses, but elsewhere, for safety reasons. And show
This
up
sounds like a
quite.
terrible idea.
I mean, the alternative is accidentally walking into it and it trying to attack you, like Bambi's rose tried to attack her.
Oh, that's not healthy.
No, it's not. You're quite tall, honey. You could walk into it.
Yeah, Pepper
Don't
rocking
do
that
that.
short dew.
She put it in her ponytail. It was not a wise idea. But it's gone. She's safe. It's in the jar. Its name is Audrey now.
Oh dear. Right, Frau is gonna look over to Bambi. Oh, we're gonna need a haircut to style that for you.
Yeah.
She can rock the short, though. She rocks it nicely.
She is, for what it's worth, following in case as well. I mean, 2 steps for every one of his, but following along behind rides because I imagine we're still in motion as we talk.
Yes, we are now an entourage.
Well, then, alright, I'll go get my own.
Wait. We're doing buddy system.
It might
Okay,
be
then who
faster if
goes
we
with
split into
me?
groups.
That way, just in case nothing funny happens.
Well, whoever wants to go with me can go with me.
We have enough here for 3 pairs. We could collect 3 in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And Flagler's gonna turn around and walk towards his hole. Dun 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 dun
Thump,
dun
thump, thump,
dun
thump, thump.
dun 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 dun.
Who wants to go follow Fergar?
I'm going with rides.
I think Raven's with rides as well. He rides is like clear tearing ahead of you guys. So
yeah,
he's
like
picking.
Raven's been kind of keeping up with him.
Well, it looks like Raven's going with rides. Do you want to head over to Fergar's instead?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey, Crab. Mr. Crab? Sir Crab? Sir Night Person Crab?
Yes.
Do you want to come with us to go to Fergar's, and then we'll go over to yours, and then the next person's, and then we can all have all the roses?
I'll go with the tall one, looking at Fragar.
Then you're coming with us. Lego.
Shouldn't two of
And
us
now-
also go to your place?
Okay, then we'll go to my place. Well, I'll meet up. I guess we'll come back towards the edge of the market.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, Bells and Bambi will go off to random fancy neighborhood in Dublin. Dorna, do you know a neighborhood?
Somewhere close to O'Connell Street would be fancy.
O'Connell Street, you said?
Yeah, somewhere close to that because that's like the big hub of Dublin.
All right, got you.
Then there.
There you go.
All the same, we now have 3 pairs of people. Go ahead, Torna.
Brides only has one rule for Raven when they get to his house, and he just says, "Do not go upstairs. You stay downstairs where I can see you."
That's a vaguely ominous rule, but she nods. All right, no going upstairs.
Yeah, that's the only thing. He'll go and try and awkwardly put on gloves and awkwardly collect this fucking rose.
Has he given her the pearl yet?
No, that's still in his pocket. He was wanting to have Bambi check it over before he gave it to her.
Actually, isn't it in the caravan?
Yeah, it's in the car. It's away from where Grace is. That's the point. He's having you check over before he even brings it near her.
Yep.
So Grace is still upstairs for. That's why he's telling her no upstairs. So I don't know if she's on a bad day or a good day yet. Comes in.
If it makes you feel any better, you hear a little bit of singing from upstairs.
Smiles a bit. Kind of stops. Like Raven probably walks into him as he looks up at the top of the stairs.
She just like kind of bumps into him like, oh.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen on the table. I haven't touched the jar.
All right, I'll find something to put on it, and then we won't touch it.
He just seems half there, like he's just staring up at the top of the stairs, just like
You okay?
What? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Like she waves her hand in front of his face, like trying to, just like, woohoo, I'm right here. And she'll hold up some fingers. How many fingers am I holding up?
I'm fine. Go on and get the rose.
All right. So she'll go in and get the rose, and I assume she'll that thing you do where like you get a spider trapped under a coffee cup, and then you take like a plate or a piece of paper and just like scoot it under the cup. Yeah, she's gonna do that with the jar. Just like get a plate or something, and
they're all in spaces, right?
Oh, they're in.
They're
Yeah.
like the Beauty and the Beast, like bell
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, Beauty and the
Yeah,
Beast.
okay. So,
that-
so she'll just like that has a bottom to it. So she'll just grab it, make sure it probably like grab a sash or something from her clothes and tie it, make sure it stays closed. And she'll walk back into the staircase and just wait for rides.
Everything good? Turn and look at her.
Yeah, just making sure that it doesn't accidentally, open up on us.
All right, cool. Let's go then. just nods and looks up the stairs one more time, smiling to himself as he's walking.
Aw.
The singing stopped, but it was pleasant.
He just smiles because, yeah, he knows it's a good day, so he'll make sure he'll be back later. That type of thing as he's walking, starting to just straighten up a bit and whistle as he's walking out, like whistling around the house so she can hear him.
When he starts whistling, she'll just say his name a couple times in a very excited little voice.
Aww.
AFK.
All right. Then I guess it'll be Bells and Bambi next. If Austin's AFK.
He just went AFK.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So Bells will lead Bambi to Mount Joy Park, and she'll go on towards the West Side Street. Up here. Kind of open the door. No touch, please. Thank you. And you'll see what I mean when you see them. And when Bambi comes inside, she'll see random piles full of harmonicas and the random trombones filled with like fake little crystals stuffed in weird crevices. There's a ton of like random toy bells you get for like your cats and Christmas bells and just lots of bells everywhere. Yeah, she likes to collect musical things. Please no touch.
I mean, yeah, she
Scamper
will
along.
politely skirt the edges of all of her various belongings. That will probably
Random
have been quiet the whole way there.
Okay. And she'll point up to where on the cabinet it is on. Okay, so it's in a glass jar. I don't want to touch the glass jar, just in case. Can you hand me those oven mitts? Rarely points to the cat ear under the mitts.
She snags him and hands him over.
Okay. She will climb up onto the sink slash cabinet underneath the actual towering cabinet. Okay. And we're rolling. Puts them on carefully, brings down the flower pot thing. Whatever. Glass jar. Weird thing full of evil flower. Okay, so here's where it's kind of complicated. Can you pass me that silver tray?
Kind of shrugs and reaches over, snags, passes up.
Okay. I'm gonna put this on the tray, and I need you to put the tray on the table because I can't jump down from here with this in my hand without being concerned of the thing shattering. That's kind of why I haven't taken it down yet.
And she just kind of folds up her hands, ready to take it.
Okay. And there you go. Please be careful. Really don't want to face hugger incident. That would be so uncool and would totally forever ruin all my feelings on flowers, which would be a shame.
Okay. Yeah.
And once it's on the table, Bells will jump down from the cabinet, kind of roll up to the flower. Hey, Bambi.
Hmm?
You know we're not, like, mad, right? We're just concerned.
Yeah.
Sorry if it came out wrong. It's just, well, things in the dreaming aren't always so nice, especially when random gifts get given. There's usually a bigger price to pay.
And there's nothing like being told 10 times after it's become abundantly clear on its own.
You have a point.
Well, the same. She'll hold the jar ready, or perhaps take the mitts, whichever way. Between the two of them, they will get this thing in the jar
Mm-hmm.
without
In the new
direct
jar.
contact.
Yes. Austin's back.
Yes, I have returned.
Your turn.
Our turn.
Yep.
I am following Frogar to wherever Frogar is.
Frogger will go home. Frogger will
Where's
put
home?
on. Frogger's home is somewhere in Dublin. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Somewhere.
Okay.
But he'll put on a couple of gloves. Put on some winter gloves above that. Now, actually, here's what he'll do. He'll go to his barbecue, grab out the thing, the fucking
The tongs.
the tongs,
Yeah.
and he'll grab the fucking rose with the tongs and just there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what other people would do. It feels like they would do some weird acrobatics, some silver plates or some shit.
Elsa's ears begin to burn.
Someone's talking shit about her. It's alright. Haters gonna hate.
It's not overly complicated, don't you think so?
No. Let's. Well, let's go back to find them.
All right.
We'll take this rose and that rose, and then we'll talk. Have the roses talk to each other.
But we will see.
And if things go poorly, there's always fire.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Let us be off. And we'll head in the direction of the other group.
And you guys head off. You're all meeting up, correct?
Apparently.
That was the plan.
Okay. Where are you all meeting up?
That's a good question.
Outskirts of the Changing Market
Are we?
was the last place we had
That
met,
was the last
so that's
discussed
where we're
place.
going back.
Yep, we can move from there.
Okay. So you all get there, and as you get closer and closer, each and everybody with their own rose, you kind of notice in the jars that they're starting to kind of move towards the edge of the jars, just ever so slowly, like they're being pulled to something. And as you kind of look around and you all get closer to each other, you realize they're pushing in the direction of the other roses that are being carried.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, this is fun.
Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Wait a sec. No gusta. No me gusta.
We should probably find somewhere else to take them. Somewhere
Yeah,
further away from, she nods towards the market. So many people.
Yeah. Her too, though.
Sorry, what'd she say?
So are they like physically leaning against the glass, or is there a like a pull, or are they just like laterally moving?
They're just moving towards, they're not pressing up against the walls of the container, but it's very clear that they're very, very close to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But still without touching.
Okay.
This is why sealed jars, though.
Sealed jars. That's why she said sealed jars.
Mm-hmm.
Bells is gonna like dig into her pocket, just call Ride, be like, "Hey, is your
Are we
roses?"
back in the dreaming? If we're
Yeah,
coming
she's
back
leaving
to
the dreaming.
market, I don't think
She's
phones
leaving
work.
the dreaming. She's leaving the dreaming. She's just like, "Nah, fuck this. I don't like how this is working out."
She's just leaving after we're like all there in the
Oh
proximity.
no, are they all there? Never mind. I
That's
didn't
the whole
know.
point. It's because we're getting
Okay.
closer together that they're reacting.
Okay. So we should probably do this somewhere else. Where would you guys suggest?
How about the beach?
Maybe
The
not
beach could work. Why not the beach?
Just because we don't see them doesn't mean there aren't people living under there.
I mean,
Or out there.
ho-
I wouldn't wish it on them either.
true, but we don't have other options I can think of. At least the beach might be further away from most people.
Maybe somewhere out in the countryside a bit. Does anyone know anyone out there?
Nope. I can't say I do.
What do you think, Red?
Dunno. Wanted somewhere that's quiet, out of the way, and not disturbing people. I don't know.
Beach sounds fun.
I mean, there's things. Apparently, there's things out on the beach. So
I mean, I've never met either of them, but
I have.
do they live close
I mean,
to
they're
the beach, like
merfolk, but they
in like the sandbars,
I met
or
there's
maybe
merfolk out there, but they don't bother too much.
maybe Bambi. Do you maybe thinking about maybe if this thing might be something a bit bigger, might go into the water?
or be washed away if it was too close and go on to affect them. Besides, as I said, I met two people on the coast just last night. Two of us. So,
Selkies?
blink.
Seal people.
Oh, maybe?
Selkies.
Well, one of them.
back on topic. What are we gonna do with these
Yeah.
things?
The beach is apparently out.
Are we sure that whatever they're, well, kind of glances at the dark Crib's holding since that's the one that's got a bunch of her hair in it. We're fairly sure that whatever is going to happen is bad, right?
More than likely.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps somewhere where that would be useful, somewhere where people are attacking, somewhere we don't want them to go, where it will discourage them.
I mean,
Haven't there been raids? Are there places
I'd
they've
rather
taken?
I'd rather a space where we can deal with them if they become dangerous.
I mean, I don't know how far we want to travel with these.
Well, there's
Why not go?
plenty
Why
of
not
open
just go to the
countryside.
forest? Why not just go to the forest to the dreaming? Nobody goes there.
Kind of glances
I
around.
mean,
Is there any reason not to?
deeper, he means.
Do you know where the trods are that lead to there?
Yeah, just take that one.
Lead the way, please.
Okay.
Oh, bother. You really want to take these things into the deep dreaming?
No, not that deep
No,
dreaming.
just
The
the
near dreaming.
woods.
The woods.
It's deeper into the woods.
Oh, Sorry, wrong woods.
The forest, like, the dreaming only has one forest. The forest. We're just gonna go to the daydreaming.
Alrighty. Well then, open the way.
Dun, 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 etc.
Etc.
etc. Cetra the imperishable. One of these days I'll make an issue that's based on Cetra the imperishable, but not today.
But soon.
But soon, yes.
Well then, into the forest.
I have no idea what we're doing, guys.
We're gonna do.
Okay,
We are gonna do magic.
this is totally a good idea.
Oh yes, indeed.
Well, it's not such a good idea, seeing as we have to go in like half an hour.
Alrighty.
So you guys head off to dreaming and get there. Seems peaceful for the most part, as much as the dreaming can be.
Alright. Well, we'll take the so our so Crib will draw a circle in the ground, and he will crush up some leaves, and he will put like finger trace the sigil of House Darwan into it, and he will ask the stone to come from the ground to raise up for a platform, and that will be his bunk for. He is Dance of the Five Kings, to make a essentially table of stone. Because not letting these things get in the ground is good.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a -2.
All right, so because we're in the near, base is 7, -2, that's 5. I don't need to risk any more nightmare shenanigans on that.
How much nightmare do you currently have?
4. I take that back. He now has 5 nightmare.
Oh no.
Oh, Jesus.
What happened?
So, but we get a table of stone. A fairly ornate table of stone.
We got a table of stone. We got a table of stone.
And then
I'm updating things. Give me a second. So that brings me up to nightmare 5. All right. Where's the hell's the home button on this new keyboard? Ah, there it is. So place the jars on opposite ends of the table. so that way we can do some magic.
Magic.
Take them out of their jars.
No way.
Bambi is hanging well the fuck back on this.
I will spend a point of glamour on my tongues for me to allow them to take them into a dreaming, and I will use the tongues to get the roses out of their fucking jars.
Drop
Nice.
and run.
Just leave the jar there. They can handle that.
Okay.
Ta-da.
So you take them out. Using the tongs and set them onto the stone table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh shit. Everything is fine ish for the most
Fine-ish.
part. Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah,
Sus.
it's going. We set them down. They start doing some weird shit though. So they kind of, for a moment, they spread out and create a triangle.
Oh no.
So on the stone table,
Mm-hmm.
and then they kind of do this weird little thing where they begin to slowly move in a triangular circle kind of thing, kind of deal. And it just spins and spins. It's very slow.
We have 4 total, I think. So where's the 4th one?
Oh, there were 4? I thought there were 3. Okay, it's a square.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's a square now. It's a square. 1, 2,
It's a
Oh
square.
no.
5,
The
6.
quadrilateral. The most mathematical of the shapes.
Ho ho ho. So
Not math.
God, please, not math. We had to do fractions one day in class. It was bad. So it starts slowly spinning and spinning, and then there's a nice little sing-song. It's very high and high-pitched. It sounds almost like the tinkling of ethereal bells.
Oh.
What? What happened?
No, bells, not bells. Like ding dong bells.
Okay.
Except
This
they're
is a
high.
class.
Yeah, except they're high and tinkly. Kind of, when you're watching a movie or a show and it's got kind of that big angelic thing that shows up and there's that big tinkling of bells. Except this is not angels. This is some creepy roses that took some people's blood.
No, thank you. No gusta. Steps behind Fregra's leg for like a second.
They eventually, as they're spinning, they slowly start to spread out until they've reached about 2 inches away from the edge of this table at any given time as they're spinning around. Then it stops. And they lower down into not into, but onto the stone table.
Ominous. Okay.
And
Crib is just gonna he's gonna knock on the edge of the table. Hello, what are you doing? And that will be his very basic bunk for Willow
Primer.
Whisper.
Hula Whisper, yeah.
I only want one question. That is, what are you doing?
Oh no, my top hat's got a bit of dust on it. No, no, no. Oh, the bunk shit, sorry.
Yeah.
-1.
Okay. Would these be considered Fey or nature?
That's a good fucking question. Um. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make it nature 3.
Okay. I just have to ask because that determines dice pool and if I have to spend more glamour.
Yep.
So we're at the last 5 nightmare.
Yep. Oh, that's broken. I'll
Gain no more nightmare, but I get 6 questions.
Okay.
Oh, more nightmare. More nightmare.
Yep.
Chugga, 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 ride that nightmare train.
Yep.
Jesus, dude.
Why
So
do you
the
do
first-
this to yourself?
I just get 10s on dice rolls.
But
So-
wait, you get nightmares by gaining 10s on dice rolls?
If a nightmare die shows a 10, it increases your nightmare pool.
Oh, well, alright then.
So, as they're spinning and growing, what are you doing?
Dancing.
I look over at the group. I can ask questions if you have any. Now would be the time.
Why are they doing that?
Why are you dancing?
It is fun.
They say it's fun.
Ask him about the fellow who dropped them all to our houses.
They don't know about that.
Well,
I've already asked the one at my house a number of times.
What are they going to do with the blood that they took from people?
What are you going to do with the blood you're taking from people?
Nourish ourselves.
They nourish themselves on it.
Not harmless at
fuck
all.
no. Fuck no. Nope. Definitely Audrey, and she like point an accusing finger at them from behind Fegar's leg.
Maybe ask something about what will happen when they're fully grown, what they will do. I
What
imagine-
happens when you are fully grown?
We will sing, and we will dance, and we will eat.
And before translating this to anybody else, he goes, well, that's terrifying. And then he'll look back to the group. They said when they're fully grown, they will sing. Kind of gestures above his head. The chimey bells. They will dance. Makes like a spinny motion with his hand. And then they'll eat.
Eat what? Dare I ask?
I guess the question is, eat who?
Fegar, no. I'm hoping they'll go after small animals first.
It may make a difference.
Like most psychopaths. They start out with animals and then they move up. Could we ask them why that one latched on to Bambi like that?
Look,
Yes, I'm curious why it grew when it was in contact with her.
because
Well,
the blood
so
is
close to her
nourishment.
head.
Yes, but then why would it not just continue to grow after it was out of her hair? Or did it continue to grow after it was out of her hair?
Or better yet, why didn't it grow when it was held in my hand? Only
Why the
Yeah.
hand and
affected
not
it by
why the
my
head and not the hand, basically, right?
Yes.
All right.
I got an
Look
easy
down.
answer for that one on you guys.
Mm.
And
We
that
just
was
want clarification.
Yep.
that was called the ST. Kind of forgot about the whole having to be grabbed in the hand before it went to the hair.
So essentially, it took a second. It took a second. Essentially, that's the answer.
Lord.
So it had to digest before it could grow.
Clearly.
I will take that clearly. So that's question 4.
Definitely not putting it anywhere close to you at all. Maybe like flamethrowers. Flamethrowers work. You can hug them with flamethrowers.
Any other questions we want to ask it?
Are you a threat to us?
Do they understand or care who or what they eat?
Which questions are going to be asked?
All right. So
Do they understand that their
Maybe,
way of eating hurts people?
well, it's kind of like saying people who eat meat hurt people. It's just the way things are. It's
She's asking to see, is it self-aware or is it just feeding to be hungry? And that's what she's trying to find out.
Mm-hmm.
that's a good point.
so how should I word it? Looking at the
Would
group.
they deliberately harm us? Or no.
Do they
Are
understand
they
that the people, the things that they're eating, think and feel the way they do?
He'll look to the group. Good way to put it.
That
that's as
is
close as we can get?
If you ask it like that, they would just say yes or no, and then what else do we know?
And do they care?
Again, yes or no.
Maybe we should just ask them, do you care that you could kill us all? Because it's not just them, it's everything in every household. Do they care that they'll end up eating us all? Because that will at least tell us whether or not they give a fuck and how we should react to that. Because if so, then they're a threat that needs to be dealt with at the end of the fucking day.
And he will look to the flowers. Do you? He'll kind of stop for a second. How many of you are there?
Enough.
Well, that's a disturbing answer.
Hmm?
I asked them how many of them there are. And their response was enough.
Threat, 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 threat,
I
threat.
suppose the real answer
Nope.
question at that point is enough for what? As much as I don't look forward to the answer.
Maybe ask them what's the point of them all being spread out.
Again,
That's obvious.
enough for what?
Hmm.
To eat, to grow.
That's true, but number doesn't make a difference on flourishing. So asking them
Could
enough for what makes it, or enough to accomplish what, makes it very clear what their intent is.
enough to accomplish what sounds good.
So is that the question we want to ask? Enough for what?
I can't think of any other that would be important. Not more important than that.
All right. We'll look back to the roses. Enough for what?
Enough to survive.
Their response. Enough to survive.
That's not a true answer. Even one of
It
them
sounds
will
like
survive.
sounds like an infestation.
Even two could cross-pollinate.
How many questions do you have?
I'm out.
Hmm.
They have fallen asleep to me.
We should have asked them how do we get rid of them.
I suppose that's a matter of trial and error.
Why can't you always just use your magic again?
Yeah, but we don't want to overtire him. He might need that if they decide to attack.
I don't know.
They don't seem to move on their own.
Well then, why not just cut them in half here?
I guess just be wary if they attach. This is something you'll need armor for. Thick armor.
Perhaps the tongs and some coals are enough to do the job. I don't think that cutting a plant is going to kill it necessarily. I'd hate to burn
I
them, but
might have some lighters on me. Enough fluid?
it seems cool.
Katie,
Cruel?
you are really soft. I can barely hear you.
To be fair, she's muttering. But she just kind of mutters very, very quietly, kind of up under her breath, just it seems cruel.
Cruel?
Fully understanding, obviously, the situation they're in.
If you
Bleeding
can
hard, gonna
find
bleed.
some other way to get rid of them and find them some way to flourish if you want them to flourish, but away from, us, that'd be great. I mean, can't save them all.
I feel like the only thing you could do with them that wouldn't end up harming us is to take them along and leave them behind the next time we strike against an enemy. And even then, that is cruel to the people that are left to deal with them. There is no good answer.
Life is cruel. Sometimes it's nature. What they're doing is their nature. I mean, what if a kid walks into one of them? It's
True.
cruel, but it's natural. Us dealing with them is a natural reaction, even if it's cruel. Nature don't give a fuck, and neither does the dreaming.
Oh, I know.
There are. Mm.
Could we just put them in one big jar together and have them eat each other?
I don't think it works like that.
Could we just put them in a jar and light them on fire?
Maybe not a jar, maybe a brazier. Brazier?
Yes.
Fire pit.
We probably have to still put them in a bag or something. They still float.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna go back to watching the flowers and what they're doing.
So the last little bit I was trying to say earlier. As they get to about 2 inches or so, towards the end of the stone table, they lower themselves down onto the bottom of each cut stem, touching the top of the table. And then more and more little vines are created, eventually starting to cover. Hey, you guys. Shh. I know. The ceiling fan's scary.
The roses are scary. Random birds are chirping.
Yeah.
The animals know. The animals know.
Yeah, no, the freaking cockatiel raptors from that aisle have returned. They're just kind of overhead. Roar.
Losing their shit.
They know these flowers are creepy as fuck.
So these tendrils begin growing and thickening over the table until it is just what once was a stone pedestal. You can still see the stone a little bit through there, but it's definitely been taken over by the growth of these roses. They're still equidistant from each other, and the roses have, well, they are starting to grow a little bit larger.
Yeah. Whatever we think about doing, we should do it soon.
Look to the other people.
Bells is fingering the lighters in her pockets.
I mean, are we certain that fire would actually hurt them?
Maybe it's the only that I've got.
Guys, I'm gonna have to drop out. I can barely stay awake.
Okay. Good night, night.
Night.
That means I gotta go.
I mean, you can stay and play in this room. I don't mind.
No, babe, it's 3 o'clock. We have to wake up soon.
All right, go bed. You guys go bed.
Bye, guys. Let us know what you decide.
See ya.
Raven will look at Rides and Crib, Pepper. And it might be our best shot.
I imagine you
What
know
was
better
that?
than we do. Kind of looking at Crib, and she said it might be our best shot.
Which?
Fire.
Fire kills a lot of things. Fire stops a lot of things. Do you want to try fire?
All things considered, we may need to dig out around it. She kind of gestures to the table with her head. Otherwise, it may spread.
I think fire. If fire doesn't work, I don't know what would work. But I think that's probably our best option.
Or we could contain them more.
Have the roots growing around the table, Kim, have they like hit the ground and dug in? Or are they just around the surface of the table?
They're just around the surface of the table. They haven't reached the bottom yet.
Okay, so he is going to stick his hands into the dirt, and he is going to grab handfuls of soil and slams his hands together, creating a ball. And then he is going of hard packed dirt, and then he is going to throw it on the ground. And that's going to be his next bunk for Dance of the Five Kings.
For what it is worth, because I don't know how much you're slamming through, Bambi will, especially as he's reaching down to begin, will fish into a small pouch and shift around to the other side of rides to where she can put them out where he can see and grasp them if he needs them. But we'll pull out several pieces of dross and hold it open palmed, like right where it's in his peripheral, not in his way, but where he can snag them if he needs them.
I will say, though, that if you're going to slam your hands down on them, you're going to get pierced with all the thorns that are on there.
Oh no, I'm not slamming my hands onto the onto them, just into the ground, and then he's slamming the ball of hard packed dirt that he made onto the ground.
Okay.
Basically making a snowball out of dirt and then throwing it at his feet. And that is my bunk for Dance of the Five Kings, to create a sphere of stone to contain these things. That is my plan.
Okay.
5, 7 dice. I need a bunk rating.
-2.
Okay. Yay! 5. Prop 2. Last 6. Nightmare. So 6 successes and no more nightmare dice. Yay! So making a big old sphere of stone to encapsulate the stone table and the growing bushes.
Okay. Completely around it, or just like a wall?
Completely around it.
Okay. So, a circular wall will begin to slowly form and rise up above. Not too far, though. It's about 5 foot around the stone table. Completely encircling the roses.
Is it successfully forming into like a sphere, or?
That was my intention, the sphere. And angry bird raptors are after us.
Yeah. It will.
Well, we will stop it there. I don't know if there's more we need to know about these. We can try the fire.
Well, there are also more of them. That's 4 homes without them now. But there are many more with them. And at least now we know not to bring them together.
There's a lot to be learned today.
Well, she will not give an audible answer. Bambi does kind of sheepishly comb back her now much, much shorter hair. Ducks back around behind Rides. And if there's nothing else we can do for now, should we spread what we've learned and go our separate ways?
Sounds about right.
Indeed.
Split up, share the information, head home. Hopefully we'll stop anyone else from being pricked by these things. And
Indeed. We'll go with that.
Quite not.
Stone should prevent them from growing or spreading.
I hope so. Thank you, Sir Crab, for your help.
Make a perk alert roll.
Oh god.
Perception alertness. Oh boy. Standard diff?
Yeah.
I got 2 successes.
I had 3 successes.
I've got 2.
Okay. As long as you got at least 1 success, you can hear the soft little tinkling of their song once again from underneath this stone.
With a concerned glance.
Oh, that's not ominous.
You guys leave. I'll stay and keep watch.
Are you sure?
By yourself.
I'm never alone.
She gives him an odd look, but she'll nod.
Maybe we'll do the same. And probably just kind of reach out for one of Rides' hands.
Just takes it.
And he will nod and wave to them all. And he will keep watch.
Well, all
Come
right.
on, Bambi, let's take you home. There's someone you gotta meet. He just starts walking, looking back like, ugh. Keeps walking.
She kind of just glances up, but nods amiably enough. Continues kind of fussing back with the shorter hair. And unless anyone would like to do anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I suppose for now we'll close the scene, saying thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching. Thank you, ST, for STing. And we'll see you all next time in Darkness in Dublin, the Changeling venue.